You on? Michelle,
Hey, how you doing, sir?
you
Thanks
on?
for oh yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on the show. My name's Michelle Kitzler. I'm a co-founding member of Actual Americans. You can find us at actualamericans.com or actualamericans.org. Um, just excited to be here and be a part of this discussion. So thanks for having me.
Well, are you going to tell us a little bit about actual Americans?
Oh, sure, I'd love to. We are a group of individuals, got founded in 2012, and we've been working together really as I'd say a thought, a thought movement at first, starting in 2012, just trying to figure out what's going on and how we can work together to address some of the challenges that face us all. Most specifically, we're very focused on bringing together anti-war crowd, left and right, no matter, and bringing together anybody that's about helping the working class, left and right, no matter.
Having any success with it?
I leave it because we haven't. The reason I said we're a bit of a think tank, almost you say, because we're working together to spread narrative, but haven't actually yet started the lobby group, which would be the next step that we move into. So I'd say the success that we found so far is in spreading narrative about peace and working together and about workers' rights. We get reached out to a lot by wannabe congressmen, wannabe representatives, asking for support to get their non corporate owned mission out because there's a strong belief the two party system, picking of the lesser of the two evils, just going to keep getting more and more evil. So I'd say the best success we've had so far is really narrative push, kind of unifying.
And any per, person, representative, or whatever specific, or are you speaking in general?
Probably about, I mean, like I said, the site itself is more of just a way for folks to get together and get narrative out. And as far as, I mean, specific, now it's just Aaron Baker is one of the guys running for to replace Randy Fine here in Florida. Randy
Yeah,
Fine is a horrible, terrible
tell,
guy.
tell us tell us exactly where you're coming from. What part of Florida?
um, I'm in Central Florida right now. It's not. It's called Lady Lake, Florida. It is not far from Orlando, which folks know. But yeah, so that's just one district that reached out there. Aaron Baker is some of the challengers for establishment candidates have been reaching out because they agree with the messaging. That the corporate owned duopoly, whether it's the red team you're voting for, the blue team you're voting for, they're owned by the same people, just a different PR marketing firm to catch you. So any of seems I've only had about four would-be representatives reach out, which is great because we are not actively recruiting. We're just trying to spread message of unity. So it's great that they reached out and want to make sure that they have their name out there as folks who are not interested in playing this uniparty game that's got us all trapped in poverty and constant war.
Constant war.
Amen. Since I've been alive, how about you, sir? Since I've been alive,
I'm just I'm just soaking in what you say. Constant war. Look like we've been at war since our candidate came in town.
oh, well, yeah, you're talking about the face of the empire.
Face of
It's a nasty, ugly, horrible, wretched, criminal face But you know what? That's our empire.
Well, what can you do about that?
Well, we ain't gonna be able to do anything through these corporate-owned um, two-party system that has been bought and now is either bought out. Every one of our 98% of our representatives vote for a foreign country, not us. They're in the midst. I don't know if this news made it to New Orleans because I know you guys got enough stuff you're dealing with with the fools that came to town. But nationwide, it's incredible. It's an incredible problem. The bigger thing, though, is I feel our imperial forces overseas going and smashing and grabbing anything they want, stealing it, using our military to do it, specifically on black and brown countries. We steal their stuff, we get richer, and we all act like it's no problem. That bubble is
When
burst. That bubble has burst.
when you
Thank
say
God.
we steal, there's when you say we steal their stuff, uh, anything particular you're talking about,
Well,
or
early on, yeah, everything. It's not the reason why I bring it up is because you referenced Donald Trump, and he is a wicked man for sure. Um, but the wickedness that he's shoveling out, no different than the guy that was running the show when we were stealing human beings from Africa. You know what I'm saying? Same
yeah,
monster, same imperial monster. Now we like stealing. Well, we've been stealing oil. We take whatever we can. We take their lithium. We take any resources they have. If they won't give it to us, if they say no, this is ours, we go beat them down and take it. Since the beginning, it turns out I didn't know it. When I signed up to serve in the military, I was under the impression we were the defense force for the United States of America. We were here to defend our country. Should we be under attack? Should somebody be after us? Lo and
we
behold, it's
weren't
never been that. It's never been that. It's never been
never
that.
been there.
No, it's been Exxon wants to increase their market share, so we're going to go take Venezuela. It's been the
All right.
United Fruit Company wants to wants to own the trade route for all of fruit, so we go take over your homeland. You know, this is
My
not
old man,
this. I believe is that was that United
Honduras,
Fruit? Yeah,
United Fruit, Honduras,
yeah, yeah.
Nicaragua,
See,
Costa Rica, Panama.
yeah. Tell it,
Yeah.
tell it. Yeah, since the beginning. So, and actual Americans has been focused since 2012, just trying to unite Americans to stop fighting about who's their favorite Democrat or who's their favorite Republican or who's the most evil Republican or who's the most evil Democrat. Because it does not matter until we actually stop the empires, until we demand that our troops be used for defense, not for corporate raiding. They've turned us into thieves.
how do you how do you how do you point them out? You have one on the left and one on the right. How do you point it out which one is the correct one or the more
It's a shell game.
adaptable?
No, yeah, no. Well, right now, say it's going to be a long road to get out of this either way because you can do your own research. 98% of our Congress is captured. They take money to help folks that are not us. You can pick which villain they're taking the money from, but it's never us that they're helping. 98% of Congress, there was a study 15 some years ago that proved that the legislation that comes out never ever is the will of the people. That was a Princeton study about 15 years ago. Uh, so it's not a new problem, but I believe more and more people are waking up to it because all the propaganda that they give us so that we stay divided, hating on each other, you know, that propaganda still works on about 30% on the right, 30% on the left, but that's it. Nobody else is buying this BS anymore. And those people will get shamed out of it. So I believe we're on the right path, but we have to keep keeping our eye on the ball, not getting distracted by the latest puppet they throw at us.
Puppet.
They don't work for us. They dance for big money. They dance for corporations. They dance for other countries that pay them better. They don't dance for us. They're puppets.
Yeah, but we elect them.
Yeah, yeah, that is terrible. Wait, here's what happens. They give us two options, or in the primaries, they give us plenty of options, right? Now all the money is only
Okay.
going to go to the ones they want, so it's going to boil down till the corporate donors who own both parties, it will go down to who they pick, and whoever they pick is who we get to vote on. So we're picking between which one of the corporate puppets is the least violent and disgusting empire manager.
The least of
That's not us having a pick. Yeah, that's not us having a pick.
the least of the
That's
two
part of the
evils, you would say.
yes,
The
sir.
least of the two evils.
Every year.
Every 4 years, right?
Well, for president, yeah, every 2 years for the other bottom feeders. That it is a real problem, and I do think we have good things on the horizon, but I do think we have dark days ahead because they know the jig is up. They know we know, and so they're having to crack down. They got their little ice raiders running around, which is only going to backfire and has already backfired in their faces. They
So
the
what what is what
more monsters. Oh, sorry.
what
Go
is
ahead,
it
sir.
that actual Americans is trying to do to affect that positive way?
In this iteration, what we have been doing so far is just trying to blast the airwaves with messages much like what we're talking about right now. Don't go swear allegiance and pick a fan on the red or the blue team. That's unpatriotic. You're supposed to be your civic duty is to hold your own representative accountable, your own one. The one you pick, you got to make sure they're not doing dirt. And they are doing dirt. But what we do as humans, we don't want to admit that our guy's doing dirt. So we point over there at that dirty guy over there. Well, they've made a whole industry out of making sure the blue team knows how dirty the red team is and making sure the red team knows how dirty the blue team is. But ain't nobody cleaning their own house. And ain't nothing going to get clean until we do. So the
My,
campaign we're running right now is to vote out every single incumbent because both red and blue are traitors to you.
well, when you if that ever happens, if you're successful
New York,
at
New York did it. New York just turn out a bunch of their traitor corporate Democrats for some up and coming. At least the folks who are saying the right things. You still have to hold them accountable, but New York just flipped 4 seats of corporate owned uh, uh, folks who support another country over our country, flipped 4 of those out and put in 4 folks who are screaming the same thing I'm screaming. We got to focus on workers' rights and we got to focus on stopping these forever wars
you got to focus on workers' rights and
yes
what
sir
else?
and stopping these forever wars. Right
Oh,
now we're
forever.
paying for, yeah, right now my tax money, your tax money is going to bomb little kids all over. I was going to say the Middle East, but I remember our conversation all over Africa to include the Middle East
What
because
what,
we bombed
what do you remind
Somalia 31. We bombed Somalia 31 times so far this year.
this year
Somalia
alone?
this year alone, and don't put that on even Trump. I I can I would if I wasn't on the camera right now, I'd look up and show you how many times under Biden and Obama. No matter, no difference. They don't run. They're not in charge. They're puppets. We got to stop the monsters that pay to run our foreign policy. Right now, our domestic policy, like with ICE and all of the domestic stuff that's putting hurts on us, that's also run by the same corporate monsters. All they care about is money. It's why we can't have health care. We give trillions of dollars to go blow up innocent civilians so our companies can rob them of their earth. Then they're poor. They have nothing. I'm oversimplifying them. Apologies. But they get damaged economically. Then they migrate to the US. Then we say we don't want these folks. Then we round them up. And right now we're putting them in prison camps, soon to be work camps. So effectively, what we're doing right now, this is us. This is our government, our tax money. So we have to all come together. There's not enough on the left. There's not enough good little angels on the blue team. There's not even enough pissed off on the red team. It has to come together, or or we have no sovereignty. They know that. That's why they have us hating each
How
other.
do, how could we be effective at developing programs to bring them together? Because they're dealing with the money.
A lot of amen. Yeah, they got the money, but guess what? They ain't got the numbers. They do not have the numbers. They got the money, and they can make us believe a lot of things just from media, newspapers, TV, social media. They own all that. They have for a long time. They own most of what's in here. They programmed this since we were born. But what they don't have is the numbers, and they don't own the truth. And when the truth comes out, which the truth has come out, yeah, if right now, if folks don't know the things I've just said, it's because they don't want to know. It's awful, scary stuff. It's gross to find out how culpable we are for horrible things. But we first have to come together, take some ownership over the fact that we've been electing these representatives that have done nothing but rape and rob the world in our name. And to think it's never going to come back home, it came back home when Hamas on October 7th, Hamas decided to do a jailbreak, and then Israel starts the land grab, furthering the genocide, furthering the land grab. Only surprise is we didn't know we were going to be doing it too. And our hands are bloody from there, now Lebanon, now Iran, and that's just in the last few years. You could dial that back, like we were saying, Mr. Slim. If we can dial that back all the way to United Fruit Company, uh, you know, and it's no change. It's no change.
I was I was brought up under the United Fruit Company, so it kind of a touch a little bit when you mention that
That's why I
name.
brought.
Matter of
That's why
fact,
I brought my. hmm
the first the first uh, the first knowledge I got about the United Fruit Company was I attended school from kindergarten
hmm
to sixth or seventh grade. That
hmm
was that was a school built by the United Fruit Company
I bet.
for the workers of the United Fruit Company.
hmm And they probably made it easy for folks there to have access to Christian churches.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They brought
Yep, that's a colonizer move number one. The- Uh, if we could go into a place and actually not extract, but we even if we just went to a place and just extracted and stole like they wanted to do, they wanted to steal everything there. They wanted to own that. They want to make the money from every little fruit that comes and goes.
well, they do.
Well, yeah, they do. And
Yeah,
not the folks indigenous of that land,
not the what?
not the folks from that land.
Well, yeah, more or less. they control them by the way of the jobs. You company like the Standard and the United Fruit, those are one and one.
Mhm.
They control the masses because of the jobs they could provide. Based on the amount of products that they could steal out of these third
Yeah,
world countries.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they control those jobs.
yeah.
So how do we get around that?
Well, I mean, as far as making our corporations stop trying to steal, I don't know, other than getting them tried in court, which is a long way away. But I do know, as far as um, making it aware that we no longer want to allow our military to be their muscle to do it. That would be a good start. That's our military. That's not United Fruits Company. That's not, sure in hell, not Exxon's military. Although at this point in the game, I feel like Exxon should be buying the uniforms for the troops, because that's who they got us working for. Then
Good luck.
everywhere we like, hey, yeah, that's what we. Well, luckily there's luckily we're not the only ones that are aware of this information. Luckily, this is actually something that most 12-year-olds now understand the empire, understand our colonial savagery, and understand that even when we put a nice, pretty face on it, if we're still going to be, doing genocide and bombing little kids and stealing their land, well, then we're going to have to be honest about it. That's going to be a shift, a cultural shift, and that has come. You if you watch any social media, check anybody below the age of 30, you'll get a certain understanding of the fact that it's grown. If you check under the age of 18 or under the age of 20, it's ball game over for these guys. That Al Gore's internet went and told them the truth. Um, there's there's there's
What is
no
it?
hiding
What
the
it
truth
say?
anymore.
What
It
Al
said
Gore
that
internet say?
it said you look. Al Gore's internet says we have been using violence against the countries of the world for the hundreds of years we've been here, 250 years. We've been, as long as we've been recording it, we have been using force to rob and murder people. And kids now, they know this, they see it, they read it, we can talk to people from countries we've blown up. We can talk to folks from Afghanistan, Iraq. We can talk to Syrians that we, after we helped bring democracy to them, which all we ever do is install a worse dictator so we can keep them at a lower station. That's all we ever do. We knock their stuff down, we take it, and we install our puppet. The kids know this, and nobody wants this as a part of our name anymore. That's not who we thought we were. So
You
we
say?
have come to see we're not who we thought we were.
Did you say democracy or the mockery?
That's a good T-shirt.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
democracy. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Democracy or the mockery?
Amen.
Of making people think that they're free or they're in good hands.
Yeah, or that they have control or some say.
Yeah. But they've been playing this colonialism. That's basically what it is. It's the
That's what
colonialism
it is.
game, which
Yep.
is very much, which is very much uh, uh, not not apparent to the average person, because you got to have a degree of understanding the different levels that it takes to have a a democracy that's
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
democracy that's really working.
For the people. Yeah. What we have right now works really well for corporations and billionaires. It works. They got a great system. But that's not the system we intended to have.
There's a saying that goes, I've been seeing on the social media, it takes 100,000 poor and homeless people, 100,000 poor and homeless people to support one billionaire.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I hadn't seen that. Wow.
it takes 100,000 poor, all the poor and folks on the streets. You
Yeah.
go down Canal Street.
Yeah.
What's the major street
Yeah.
you all have down there? What's the major street in your town?
Oh Lord.
Where,
Okay, Lake
where,
is hardly a
where,
town, but I hate to say
where
it,
the
it would be called 441. It's a road 441.
441?
Yeah, I'm in a real small town.
where all of the, which we used to, in my days, we used to call them hobos, but now they're
Okay.
homeless
Yeah.
and destitute. Matter of fact, they'll make homeless and people who don't have nowhere to go, sleeping on the streets, is becoming a crime. Now you're going to jail if you sleeping on the streets. Like I
Yes,
could talk
sir.
about New Orleans. Yeah, I could talk about New Orleans. They have passed that law that you cannot be sleeping on the streets. Well, if you're sleeping on the
Yeah.
street, it's because you don't have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows how sick we've gotten. As I made a post the other day. It sticks with me. I feel because somebody was saying, "How is this possible? How is this possible? All these things. How is it possible we're not storming the gates when we found out pedophiles run our country? You know, how is it possible we didn't storm the? How is it possible we didn't storm the gates when we found out we're killing little babies with bombs that are ours? How's it possible? And the best I can say, I don't know that they have not siphoned out every bit of humanity that's possible from us since birth. Because human beings aren't supposed to act the way you're saying, sir. And there's some kind of collective fog that's come upon us. And I blame it on colonialism. I believe it's a part of the system to create the apathy that allows us to sit and bicker with each other instead of face the real monsters.
Well, the real monsters are the ones in control,
Amen. Yes, sir.
and we need people like yourself uh, who sees, is aware, and understands, and have the personality to want to do something about it. You know, but we have so many that all care just about themselves, and if they are doing pretty well, they don't care about what colonialism is doing to the rest of the folks. And the rest of the folks is them,
Yeah.
themselves. We.
Yeah.
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 So how
I
do
think
we
that's
get
what
around?
there is no. It's happening anyway. Good news is it's happening anyway because the truth has come out. Yet we, like I said, we were in a foggy little haze. This fake. We're number one, no matter how many heinous things we do. That programming is wearing off, and so folks are
Is where
demanding more. They're demanding better. They don't want to sin with their tax money.
you said wearing off. You said
It's
it's wearing
coming.
off.
Yeah, I believe the fog that has had us locked in this situation where we don't make judgments like human beings.
All
We
right.
make them like scared animals. We like you said, walk right over that homeless person. Walk right over them. Can't stop. Got to get to our thing. Got to do what we need to do. This is a, a very sick training, that very sick programming that we have. Um, there's a lot to unpack. I think the simplest way to start is hold your own representatives accountable. New Orleans, for God's sakes, y'all's politics right now, open display of supremacy. I know the balls on these establishment uh, parties down there, the balls on them to just be so to be so openly disgusting and think it's gonna work for them. The funny thing these people don't understand is when they show their monster face, we see it. We see it.
Well,
And then there's something in us that won't allow it to remain.
they just they just they just Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, the whole state.
Louisiana,
They,
yeah. Louisiana knows picking on my face.
they just came up with well, they just took the mask off the faces.
Oh well. Yup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what they've done here?
I'm
they
actually
they
posting some of it. I've been proud of those guys getting up and talking. Go tell me.
well, I'm talking about the other folks. The new
Cool.
government, the new governor, and most all the state representatives are with him. You know, they are cutting out all of the judges and state reps from New Orleans.
Yes,
The
that's what I was
the,
talking about.
the clerk of court, we have two courts here. We have the criminal court and we have the civil court. They're trying to get rid of one of them. Trying to get rid of the judges. I think they're gonna take. They're trying to get rid of a four, five, or six judges. You know, uh, talking about they don't need that many judges. When you go to court, people sitting in court there, man, can't seem to get away from them. It takes so long. They gotta wait. They gotta wait. They gotta wait.
Yeah,
You know.
two
Yeah.
years sometimes. Yeah, marvelous 2 years just to get the date. Yeah,
Yeah.
Louisiana has showed its face, and folks who think it's actually a beautiful thing, I believe. The Donald Trump coming in and showing mask off how the empire runs, emboldening
Yep.
all these hate, hate, hate
Mongers.
mongering, hate mongering. Yeah, and the sad part is the people who get involved in the hate mongering, they don't even know they're getting played. They got their little hearts all mad. They're so upset and they're getting played because the only reason the supremacists that run the show, the only they are they're allowing it to be seen. They think that's a good thing. They feel emboldened. They're coming out. I think that's the most beautiful thing ever. We have got because the only way to get this nastiness put behind us is we have to see. That's why I said vote out every single incumbent. Every single incumbent. I don't care if it's your team, the other team. Pick some fresh starter, and if nothing else, it makes these corporations that fund these traitors and these supremacist criminals. It makes the money behind it get wasted. They have to work twice as hard. It's gonna really piss them off. because they put all their little money on these big ponies, and we go slip in some. Even if the person we slip in isn't the dream candidate we hope it would be, it still screws them up. It still messes up their money. They still have to double back and try to figure out how to buy this joker. And that's not a long term fix. That's a short term fix while everybody wakes up and realizes that it's us against them. The big money interests, the billionaires. It's people, whether they want to be a racist little asshole or not, part of my language, it doesn't matter. That it's our enemies are still these bastards up at top. These corporations that have been using our military, our name, our police to enforce things that are not law benefiting the people. We gotta do a complete turnover, and it's our fault. It's the voters' fault because we elect somebody because we think they're cool. We don't know what they say or what they want. We don't know who they got their money from, but all that's changing now. There's a ton of different ways you can track money on politicians. APAC tracker if you just specifically worried about the 98% of Congress that is voting for Israel and to keep our troops in war. There's a great organization called APAC Tracker. Now there's a lot of Israel lobby groups beyond APAC, but that organization called APAC Tracker, they watch all the funds from a foreign country or from watch all the funds that are coming in to support a foreign country, and they'll show you exactly how much money the candidate took from this organization. And they actually have candidates who refuse money like that that they're promoting. So as
Very
far
few, very few,
go to
very
I'll tell your audience to check out APAC Tracker. And then there's also another fund that's called a Revolutionary Change. That's
revolutionary change.
yes, sir. And you're like the founding member of that. Her name is Jen Perlman. She tried very hard for many years to unseat another corporate monster, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, also out of Florida. Jen Perlman was the challenger for years, for years, for years. And I don't like to give money to politicians, but I did. I came out the pocket for Jen Perlman, put her on a little, I don't know if it's 10 or $15 a month, just because she was swinging at Goliath. You know what I mean? Every day she got up, tried to beat this big baddie. Well, she did not beat the big baddie because the big baddie has too much money coming in from Israel PACs. But what she started was a fund called Revolutionary Change, where she is getting money together to promote folks who are going to run against these incumbents who are ripping us off and making us look bad while they get rich.
While they get richer.
Yes, richer because they started off rich because they're the sons and daughters of the same monsters from a different generation. These
Well,
the same entities, the same banks that funded for our military to intervene for United Fruit Company are the kids now. Their kids now are funding the wars for us to go murder in Gaza. It is. I like the way the Europeans call it. They say they call them nepo babies. You ever heard that term? Nepo
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta spank our nepo babies out of here. They gotta go. They gotta go. And once they're out of office, if they get found for treason, because we're talking about a genocide right now that we're caught red-handed in. I know you know, sir. After the Holocaust, the first genocide. Well, not the first genocide, no, but the first genocide they decided to do a treaty on, the Genocide Convention, where everybody signed, including us, said Never do it. Never happen again. We'll never let it happen again. Well, we're in violation of that. And when Israel is brought to justice for its crimes, they're going to want to talk to the people who gave them all the weapons and kept paying for it and did it right alongside them. So the a reckoning is coming, and the only thing we need to do as Americans is pay attention, hold your whoever you decide to vote for, hold that mofo accountable. Don't be his friend. He's not your friend. They're not your friend. They're not the good guys. I don't care if they say they like gays. I don't care if I don't care if they say whatever they say. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're not your friend. They're pay. You got to make sure whatever they do is what you want them to do. Hold them accountable. The blue team didn't do it when Joe Biden leveled Gaza and with 2,000-pound bombs from our storehouse. We leveled Gaza. We murdered. That was us under Joe Biden, the good guy, the blue team. We got our college campus protest stomped out. They got called terrorists, got arrested, got kicked out of school. Half the schools where the damn deans of the school, the presidents of the school that allowed for the protest, they lost their job and got kicked out for protesting a genocide we're paying for. This there's going to have the whole world. They right now, sure, they're hating on Israel for what they're doing, but there isn't anybody who doesn't know it's us. Israel's little. We pay for them. It's our colonial muscle, backed by our colonial forefathers over in Europe. Our colonial pappies. They never put their hands down from trying to steal from indigenous people. You know?
You might say over in Europe, but there's a huge number of them right here.
Yeah,
That that's,
yeah.
that's part of that colonial entity
What you said that has fought against or alongside.
alongside.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not putting it on anybody.
They
I'm
put
putting it. I care about where my tax money goes, so I blame us. But I'm saying it was before we got here. That's we got the same behavior our nasty little colonial pappies had running around doing the same dirt. We come over here, kill off what they say ten tens of millions of Native Americans. I've heard as much as 100 million Native Americans. We killed so many indigenous people to this country. It literally shifted. You can look it up. It shifted the temperature of the earth because that many warm bodies died in such a small amount of time. Literally changed the temperature of the earth by the amount of slaughter we did to make our nice, comfy home here. So I don't think it serves anybody in this country to try to sugarcoat where we came from and how we got here, especially because we're still doing it. You know, you have to own your behavior so you can stop doing it. Right now, we're currently doing it to the Palestinians, the Lebanese, anybody we want, anybody we want. And
when
that's
when
that's not us. That's not us. That's not the people. That's those same monsters we're talking about. We got to flip. We got to get them out.
when do we get the good folks to do the flip?
It's going to come from within, and that's why I referenced I know New York is New York, right? So New York's always going to have freedom fighters up there. It's New York, but it's good to go check and see what they've done. The Democrat Socialists of America (DSA). I'm not super hot on their party over anybody's party, but their goal is to get a bunch of the reason I'm not hot on their party is because they're still trying to go through the Democratic Party. The You can't go through the Democratic Party; it's owned by slot monsters. So they're trying to fill the seats in the Democratic Party with democratic socialists, which I don't care what you call it, as long as it's for the workers and we're stopping these wars. Uh, and that's what they're about. So that organization, the DSA, has been going around and flipping out some of these establishment monsters that have been here going along with this corruption and lining their pockets with all of the stuff that's bad for us. They're on that mission. So I support that mission. I just have concerns that when you get to the top, the house is still owned by the same person. So I'm a big fan of growing the independent parties. The majority of Americans are registered as independents anyway. So I'm a big fan of trying to, which everybody's like, oh, you can never get an independent party through. Well, I'm tired of voting for monsters, and I'm tired of playing this show game. And there's a plenty other people that are out there doing the same.
That is the question. That's the question that I've been trying to get across to you. How we get the righteous people. I'm going to use the word righteous because we have changed and changed, and we always end up, it look like that dollar bill.
Yeah.
Changes everything, and before
Yeah.
you know it, they're going to have the $250 bill with Donald Trump picture on it. You heard that?
Not surprised.
Clap, clap, clap.
Not surprised. Let the devils do their work. Because to answer your question, sir, the way we're going to get some righteous people right now, these youngsters see evil coming from us. They're not buying USA. They're not buying it. They have you watched all of the college ceremonies, the graduation ceremonies, when the colleges invite a corporate CEO, or they invite somebody who's supporting a genocidal supporter, like they had, I saw one just a while ago. Jerry Seinfeld tried to come speak at a college graduation. All the college kids walked off their graduation because he is supporting genocide and happy and proud about it and laughing about it. And they don't sit right with folks. So to answer your question, the righteousness in people is coming because we've been confronted with our own demons, our own devil. Like that. I think that's how we got that nickname, White Devils, because we ran with it. Like we ran with it. There's some kind of greedy streak, and I'm not going to put it only on white people, but we're talking about colonizers from Europe, from the West, that squirted us here. We squirted Israel over there. There's nothing we want more than to rape, rob, and steal around the world. So there is definitely, we have to demand better from the people who represent us. And the good news is that righteousness is coming because folks are disgusted with our own government, our own selves. New Orleans. I watched these guys. I watched these guys at City Council. So, sorry to interrupt, but I watched several folks in New Orleans at the City Council meeting calling out these supremacist, corporate-owned, divide and conquer traitors is what they are. And they're calling them out. And what's going to happen is those people with their righteous heart will get involved. They'll keep getting involved. They'll keep getting involved. And there's no lies. They can't hide things from us anymore. So their time is short.
Well, the social media forums kind of democratize the situation. So hopefully that'll work for improving the situation. Unfortunately, our time has basically run out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So you got 30 seconds to.
Well, I would like to go ahead and do it. I would like to go ahead and do a shout out then for that Revolutionary Change pack. You can go to Jen Perlman's podcast at Revolutionary Change Now. And
Revolutionary Change Now.
Yes, sir. You can go to that podcast on Yahoo. They're on X. They're all over. Get involved and start making sure that we're promoting getting these. I don't care if they smile nice on you. Getting rid of all the incumbents. Every single incumbent must go. Red and blue, traitors to you. Send a message. Once we scare them a little, stop acting like we work for them. Start treating them like they work for us. We'll be marching in a better direction.
Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully that'll work for us. Push, push, push. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you
Hold your
very
own
much,
team accountable. Thank,
Michelle Kitzler. Mucho gusto.
I thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity.
Anytime, anytime. We got to do this once a month, okay?
Oh, that would be good. That'd be good. Maybe I'll try to get Jen to come on from Revolutionary Change. She can tell you
That'll
better.
be good. That'll be
Okay.
good. That'll be good.
Okay. Okay.
It has been
Well, love you,
Michelle
sir.
Kitzler on the Gumbo Tapado show, live and living podcasting all over the world now. Thank
Amen.
you again. Hug, hug, hug.
Hug, hug, hug. Be well, sir. Until I see you again.
Okay. Very good.
Bye bye.